Hello everyone, this is Carrie from Celestial Forecasts. I have been MIA for a while, guys. I do apologize. I've been dealing with a cold slash flu wannabe, and everybody in the family's been ill. It's just going around, so I do apologize. Haven't had a chance to really put any content on here, but I was guided to do one today, and so hopefully there is something in the message that I'm tapped into that could help you in some way, shape, or form. These are the 4 decks that I have been drawn to use this time, so they're all created by myself. The Scenarios deck, you guys are probably already familiar if you're a regular to my channel. So the Veil of Deceit and Desire, it has 2 meanings. So just like a tarot deck, it's upright and reversed. We'll see how that goes. And then we'll take a look at the energy from the Heart and Soul Love Oracle deck. I've been guided to use my modern day SEER'S Tarot and Oracle. It is tarot with a twist. It's not like your regular tarot deck. It's got all of the usual tarot messages, but I've also added Oracle messages in addition to additional court cards. So it could really change up the dynamic of how this reading could go. And then since we're so close to Valentine's Day, I was just drawn to use my Valentine Connection Tarot. I'll list everything down below in case you're interested in purchasing any of these decks. All right, guys, so general advice as always, please keep that in mind throughout and only take the parts of the reading that make sense for you. So let's start with the Scenarios deck and see what is the message. And I'm already seeing the number 3. Now that could be representing third-party involvement. That could represent March, okay, the 3rd month of the year. That could be a specific number for some of you guys. It could be an anniversary. It could be your person's birth date. Okay, so, and I'm also drawn to pull 3 cards. So let's grab some insight here. So it'll bring up a few scenarios. You don't have to resonate with each and every card, of course, unless it makes sense that way. Let's see if we get any reversals from this deck. Angels and spirit guides, please, for whoever is drawn to this reading. What is the advice that needs to come through for whoever needs it? All right, so this one's in the upright. Catfish, opposer, pretender, fake persona. So if this makes sense to you, maybe you have been catfished, or you have maybe suspected that somebody's not exactly being real with you. Okay, so let's set that one aside. And I have 2 more cards that literally just fell out the deck. Let's take them. We have the Maid, and we have the Tyrant. Okay, so each one of these cards representing very different energies, okay? So the Maid, this is somebody who is a people pleaser, cleans up the mess at their partner's beck and call. So it depends, you know, if you relate to this for yourself. When it comes to your relationship, do you tend to be the one that always cleans up the mess, or you don't want to rock the boat, you don't want to cause any drama or trouble, so maybe you do everything to just please your person, or that's how they are. Maybe you know somebody like this. This could be a friend as well. Maybe you're observing this. It's like, you know, stop people pleasing, stop giving this person everything, and especially if they don't deserve it. And then we have the Tyrant. So again, only take it if it's resonating with you personally, because this is referring to possibly an abusive partner. And that type of abuse, it does not have to be physical. It could be mental, it could be emotional. You know, people can hurt us with their words. Overbearing, heavy-handed, power-hungry, bad temper. If all 3 of these cards make sense for you, I'm kind of getting, you know, maybe when you met this person, they put their best foot forward, they checked all the boxes, you know, maybe you felt like, oh my God, I have just met my ideal person. And then the more you got to know them, you started to see the ugly side of who they were or are. You know, Might have taken a good bit of time, but they finally showed you their true colors. I'm getting that as well. So if that's what's going on, then let's dig a little bit deeper here and see what the tarot messages want to bring forward, okay? Angels and spirit guides, please. I already have a card literally flying out and I'm not even done shuffling. Look at that. Number 3, guys. Okay, we're getting the 3 of Cups coming right out. I was not finished shuffling and it literally separated itself from the deck. So, again, it could be third party. It could be maybe some of you guys might have distanced yourself from somebody who didn't treat you well. Whether it was an abusive partner, you know, toxic, karmic, however way you felt they are or were with you. The way I'm picking this up energetically is more than likely you are not with this person and they want you back. That's what they're hoping for. Now that you're not in the picture, more than likely, they're thinking about those happy times that you guys have shared rather than being honest with themselves and how they treated you, you know, when times were not good. That's interesting. So there's somebody here who wants a new beginning with you. They want a fresh start with you. But if you relate to this, you know, you might not be in such a hurry to give them a second chance. Especially if they really hurt you here. All right, let's see what else. Look, we've got the Fool. So what I'm seeing here, guys, especially if this is your storyline and if it makes sense, they did make a fool of themselves. They see it now. It's like they now realize that they should have just been real with you. It's like, this is who I really am. You know, maybe they came into the relationship with all of this drama from prior relationships, or they could have been the one in an abusive relationship and they're bringing that forward, not having learned the lesson tied to it, you know, or they were always the one that ended up cleaning up someone else's mess. Man, this is interesting. And look at the next card. The Angel of Mercy. Life has brought you down to your knees. So whoever this is meant for, either you, the person listening, or the person that this describes, and maybe you know who this is. Life hasn't been so easy. Life has brought you down to your knees. The universe shows you mercy. The love you've been searching for, yearning for, has eluded you thus far. I'm here to let you know that it's time to rise, to get back up. Claim your ascension within your own life to help you take that first step towards a brighter future. So if you have personally experienced somebody that was not being real with you, they weren't being authentic, they were maybe dishonest, maybe they cheated on you, there could have been a third-party situation, or they left a mess and, you know, left it for you to clean up their mess, or they tended to have a very short temper. So they could have been very abusive with their words. I'm kind of getting that for somebody. And so let's just say you guys parted ways, if that's what happened. The moment you took yourself out of the picture, they felt it. They felt the emptiness. They felt the absence. But at the same time, you know, you also removed yourself from being, for lack of a better phrase, the punching bag for this person. They had nobody to direct that anger or frustration or whatever it was that they were trying to deal with. They had nobody to direct that towards when you removed yourself from the picture. So that's something that they have to work on for themselves. And they can, you know, the Angel of Mercy message. It's like they do need to claim their ascension, because at the end of the day, they're the only ones that can pick themselves up from what they created. Two of Swords. This is a situation very clearly stated that you guys are at an impasse. We have a stalemate situation here. And the reason why we are at a stalemate is because you probably did put your foot down. You made a decision for yourself to get out of something that was toxic. And now they are left with the lesson behind it, meaning that it's their job to do the work, to be able to handle their own issues, not yours. I'm glad to see the Four of Swords right after it, because if you have had a lot of anxiety dealing with this person and you went through so much, not just physically, but mentally as well, you needed time. You needed time to recuperate from this. You needed time to heal. You needed time on your own. So if you're listening to this and if that's where you're at right now, good for you. You need the time. Focus on you. Focus on being kind to you. Focus on filling your cup. Because I have a feeling this person helped empty that cup. And the only way to fill it is for you to love yourself enough to work on whatever it is that you need to work on to heal your heart. That is what I'm getting from that. So I do not know who that message is for, but that was pretty intense. All right, well, let's go ahead and take a look at the next batch of cards that wants to come forward for this one. I never know where these readings are going to go, and then the messages get super intense. And hopefully it finds its way to the right people. Angels and spirit guides, please, for whoever is in need of these messages. So, you know what? Let's take a look and see if it's tied into what already came through, or if a completely separate situation comes forward. Let's see. And if that is the case, I'll go ahead and stamp it. I can't speak. I can timestamp it down below, especially if it's just talking about two completely separate storylines. We'll see. Maybe. You and I have so many layers to our relationship. The good, the amazing, the wonderful, the intimacy, the funny, the serious, the uncertainty, the boundaries, the goodbyes, the end. Life has many layers too. Maybe someday our connection can bloom into something even more beautiful than what we had to begin with. Just maybe. So if you relate to the first message, and, you know, perhaps there's a part of you that's able to forgive. And I'm hoping that you have, if this describes something that you've been through, because that's a gift that you give to yourself. Because you don't want to be the vessel for anger, for frustration, for anxiety, for pain. It has to be dealt with, right? Let's see what else. Oh man, look at this, guys. Okay. The energy that came through in that first batch of cards, it's carrying over. There's the anxiety. So this card says, there was a time when I was open to love and all of its vulnerabilities. I was brave, unafraid. But heartbreak has a way of changing a person, causing us to be closed off, holding ourselves back from finding true love. My anxieties have covered me in a blanket of fear. I'm so cold in this darkness, and I'm not sure I can ever let anyone in again. Talk about timing, guys. You know. So I know this is for somebody. I just, even if it's one person that relates to this. You know, it's like having so much optimism for love and relationships, and then somebody hurts you and breaks your heart. And, you know, it puts you in this state of anxiety to where you're not quite sure. You're not sure if you could ever allow yourself to be that vulnerable and open up your heart, open up your life, open up your arms to somebody again. But for some of you, maybe you have evolved to where it's now coming through as a maybe rather than no. Let me grab one more. Give me one more card, please, for the collective. Sorry for the interruption. That was my grandchild that came in. She's 3. So when grandma's in here doing a reading, she don't care. She's coming in. Anyway, let me grab one more card here, guys. Interlaced. Ooh, okay. Distance, time, circumstances cannot stop our love from intermingling, despite outside influences that are beyond our control. People, opinions, misaligned stars, the world. That we shouldn't be. You are always with me in my heart, my love. There they cannot touch the you and I that have become this thing called us. What I'm kind of feeling here, guys, is this could be coming from a person that was in your life at one point in time, and now part of that interlaced energy is that they still feel your vibe. They still think about you. They still miss you. They still are thinking about the two of you being an us couple rather than two people who are in separation because of something that you guys went through. This is somebody that's still hoping to be a part of your life. But is it realistically something that can happen, you know? Let's grab some tarot. Angels and spirit guides, please, for the collective, for whoever needs these messages. Wow. Look at this. We've got the 6 of Swords. If you relate to what's come through here, you've already moved on. You know, you went through what you went through with this person. Could have been a very difficult breakup. Could have been third-party involvements. If it wasn't that, they just weren't being honest with you about something. And it created so much in the relationship that you guys might have had a tower moment here. If this has been maybe a recent decision to move forward, then you're still healing. You know, you're still recovering from what you've been through. So it makes sense for me that you are still in this energy of feeling anxious. Not sure if you could ever give your heart to somebody else or allow them to come in. But look at the next card here. We've got the Sun. So you will get through this. You will get past this. You will move on. Look at this. Be kind to yourself. It'll take time. You know, it's different for every person. We all heal in different ways. For some, it's a lot sooner than others. The Temperance card represents patience, tranquility, balance. And in time, that will come. You will be able to experience the type of happiness that this type of card is bringing forward. And it is through this energy that you will heal this type of emotion in your heart where you're feeling so anxious and maybe just paralyzed in your thoughts. You know, you're not quite sure what direction to go. And that's totally understandable. But as long as you continue to put yourself first, you'll wake up one day and realize, you know what? I'm okay. I can do this. I can move forward. I can find love again. Ace of Pentacles. There's your fresh start right there. A new opportunity to begin again. For life to restabilize itself. Maybe to give you a more optimistic outlook that someone's out there for you, that you can find it again. And look at this. This is the next card. The Eight of Wands, it's about fast movement. Okay? So going back to what we saw earlier, this is stalemate, stuck, stagnant, decayed. So if that's where you're at, don't worry. You will move forward from that. It just takes time. That's all. Bottom of the deck, Six of Wands. And it's interesting, this is the next card, Ten of Wands. So whatever this burden represents, whatever is weighing heavily on you because of somebody that hurt you and disappointed you, broke your heart, or abused you in any way, shape, or form, you will overcome that. You will get to a point where you can lay down that heaviness because it was not meant for you to carry to begin with. Six of Wands represents success. You know, it's like crossing that finish line, being able to look back at your journey and realize, I'm a champion, I'm a winner, I did it. And somebody else will recognize that within you. Somebody else who knows that you are their person and you will recognize that in them. That person's out there. So try to not focus so much on where you've been, as painful as it might be, and focus on the journey ahead. Because the journey ahead can bring you this happiness that you're looking for. It's out there. It will come. So you got to just be kind to yourself and be mindful that it will come to you in divine timing when it's meant to. All right, guys, so I don't know who this is for, but I do feel that it could be very healing for those of you who needed this clarification and message. If you are interested in your own reading, I would love to do that for you. That info is down below in the description box. And of course, I will link all of the decks you see here. Thank you guys so very much. See you next time.